in America, where they could basically say they don't need guys. They could do it on their own. They could raise their kids. They could do whatever. Men's roles are being diminished. Sure, they could take a back seat and let the shift take place, which it is happening. And everyone can see it. But you can't deny a man's role in society and the role that a man actually plays. I'm not showing any disrespect to women. It's good that they're taking prominent role in society. I'm talking about the man's role. Man was the provider. Maybe some men lose it. Some men fall in the roles. Some men don't know how to be men anymore because they don't have the role model father as it has been for years. It's not there anymore. Or maybe they see their dads every once in a while because of the situation. How is a man supposed to be a man? How are they supposed to know the man things? Stuff that makes them who they are. How is a man supposed to know how to treat a woman? How is a man supposed to learn different things? And it was just Father's Day. See, we don't respect, me included, because I've had my issues, but I'm working through them. We don't respect the roles a man plays as a father. We don't respect the role that a man plays as a man in society anymore. And the thing is, men learn to be men. But how do they deal with being men if they don't have the role model male figure in their life? And we have a divorce rate of more than 50% in America. And I'm not even talking about the whole entire world. We're not loyal anymore. We're not facing situations. We're not embracing people. We're not telling them how we feel. We keep it bottled inside, as I have. And it affects us. It affects us. Because every time you want to say something, especially in a bar setting, somebody's always around, ready to hear the story. And I don't drink. But you know what? The past is past. And you move on and learn from your lessons. If you cause hurt in any way, you pray that your hurt is forgiven. And you move on. You get stronger and you build. Relationships are tricky, as a friend told me. We deal with pressures like no other. Me being a man, it's not easy being a man. I didn't go for the stereotypical route. I could have became whatever I wanted, but I choose to be a counselor. And it is a female-dominated field. Now, I get along great, but there are women in men-dominated fields, and that's starting to change. You're starting to see a transfer over. You're starting to see women start to compete and dominate as long as they're competing with the men. You're seeing men go over to women fields and compete in that aspect. It's starting to become balanced, which it should be. But there's a lot of things going on. There's different things with roles. How do you deal with situations? It's not easy. You don't know what's going on when you're not there. And they sure as hell aren't gonna tell you. I know this because I've been guilty of this too. And I'm being honest. When you're in a situation and you're afraid of what somebody might think, so you react. You react in other ways. You tell somebody, you tell this, but you don't face that individual. You don't face them. Because every time, they always got someone around. And you know, for a guy they want to deal with that situation in another way. So they go behind their backs and do something else. Or the woman does something else behind the guy's back that they don't know. That they're not honest and telling what they're doing. And it happens. It hurts. You don't know whose feelings you're playing with till they get burnt. And when they get burnt, you feel the price. You pay the price. Now, speaking of other situations too, people get burnt. You could be with someone, next thing you know, you're left for dead. You could be with someone, next thing you know, somebody is living with someone in your home. You could be with someone and you could be without someone. You could be that guy who's afraid to approach women for fear of rejection, for fear of everything, for fear. Maybe that's what we all do. Maybe we're afraid. We're afraid of life. We're afraid of our significant other. We're afraid of our children. We're afraid of what might happen to us. We're afraid of ourselves. We're afraid of life. We're afraid of what people might think of us. We're afraid of standing our ground. We're afraid of a lot of things. We're afraid of everything that happens in the news. We may be afraid of ISIS. We may be afraid of our government. We may be afraid of God knows what. There's many things to be afraid about. We may be afraid to go overseas. We may be afraid of every religion. God only knows. There's many things to be afraid about. But if we face that fear, if we face it, if we deal with it, if we challenge it, if we know whatever we do with that fear, if we could face and confront that person, if we could do whatever, if we could tell what's on our minds, maybe we could live. And you know what? One day when it's all said and done, one day when we're ready to leave this earth, we can say we fulfilled our purpose. And you know what? If you're a non-believer, you could say you wandered through this life to fulfill your journey. And the thing is, in relationships.